Hey all, it's Aurelius. Welcome back to the channel. So in the past, many of you have asked me what microphone I use to record my YouTube videos. Well, right off the bat, this right here is a Rode Procaster microphone. I've had this for somewhere like 10 years. I've recorded over 500 YouTube videos, created multiple online courses using it, and even started a podcast many years back. So if you're on a lookout for a high quality microphone to level up your audio quality, then consider the Rode Procaster microphone. But more on this microphone in this video, and what I'll be sharing is not so much the specs or the technicalities of this microphone, but more so my personal experience using this microphone. So let's get to it. All right guys, so the first thing I want to do is do a comparison so you can hear the difference between a Rode Procaster, a VideoMic GO. This is also a Rode microphone, and also the built-in microphone that is recording right now. So my Sony A7IV camera. If you understand video production, audio is more important than video quality, because your audience can forgive you if your video quality is a little poorer, but they can't forgive you if they can't hear what you're trying to say. Let's do a test. Let's start from actually the built-in microphone from the Sony A7IV. Okay, so what you're hearing is the built-in microphone from the Sony A7IV. I'm going to read out Rode Procaster broadcast quality dynamic microphone. All right, now we are going to test out the Rode VideoMic GO II sitting right here, which is my backup microphone. All right, so what you're hearing now is a Rode VideoMic GO II sitting about somewhere around that much space. Rode Procaster broadcast quality dynamic microphone. All right, back on the Rode Procaster microphone, and what you're hearing obviously is the Rode Procaster microphone. All right, so now that you heard the difference, hopefully you know the importance of audio quality. Let's now discuss the price of a Rode Procaster and also compare it with another popular microphone brand. On the B&H website, you'll see the Rode Procaster going for $229. It hasn't really changed in terms of pricing. It's quite fixed. You might be able to find this cheaper on sales such as Black Friday, Cyber Monday, etc. What you're going to get is simply the microphone and the adapter, which can connect to other things. You don't get the shock mount, and this is all separate accessories. This is basically all you get in this box. That's the microphone, and you will need other things because it is an XLR based microphone, so it doesn't connect directly to your computer. You will need a USB interface. I'm going to compare this to another popular microphone, Shure A7IV. You might have seen this microphone in many podcasts, many video creators who use this microphone. Almost double the price. You can take a look. If you've commented in the past saying that you like the quality of my audio, why would you spend almost double the amount on a Shure SM7B when you can get the Rode Procaster for almost half the price? Both of the microphones are dynamic microphones. A couple of cons with buying these types of microphones is that you will need other accessories. So the first thing you will need is a USB interface. This right here is from Focusrite Scarlett Solo. If you record on your own, you're not doing anything like podcast interviews, all you need really is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, okay, which goes for $119 at the time of this recording. If you are considering going to be recording other people, then you want to look at the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So this has two XLR inputs right here, goes for $179. So the way I've got it set up is I've got Rode Procaster here, I've got an XLR cable, which is another cost which attaches to a USB interface such as a Focus Scarlett Solo. And by the way, the XLR cable that I'm using is pretty high quality. It's from Mugami, so take a look at that. And by the way, all these accessories and these pieces will be listed in the description box below, so you can take a look and go directly to those places right on B&H. And also I'll link the Amazon links too. Once you've got those in place, the other things that you'll need is a Cloudlifter. You might have heard this term before. All it does is it will boost up the gain, so making your microphone 25 dB louder with clean transparent gain, right? Not to get too technical, but basically it will boost up input, right? So that when you are doing like live streams or you're recording your videos, you don't need to boost it up post-production or when you're editing your videos. I don't use a Cloudlifter personally, but I do use this one right here, which is just $99 compared to $149. It does the exact same thing anyway. I don't attach it to here, but what you do is you attach it on the back. Dynamite DM1 is what this brand is called, and then right here is where you put in the other end of the XLR cable, and that is all you need. So you can see how it connects, and that way you're getting a boost in gain. So very similar, you've got 28 dB of gain, and it does a pretty good job. That's pretty much all the gear that you need, unless actually you need a boom arm or stand like this. And if you are looking for one on the market, then you're going to want the Rode DS1, which goes for $29.99. All right. The only downside I would say with using this type of thing is if you bump on the table like so, you might be able to hear that, or a little bump here, you might be able to hear that. The other setup that I recommend otherwise is getting something like the Rode PSA1 right here, which is a boom arm. So what you do is you attach it on your desk and then simply extend it wherever you want and you're good to go. I actually have it sitting right there. I used to use it for many of my videos, but I'm going for a more cleaner look. It does come down to personal preference sometimes. Some people don't even want a microphone on their frame. What they have is something like a microphone sitting at the top, which I also have. So that way you're getting a cleaner shot. In addition to the boom arm, what you also want to consider getting is the shock mount. So this one's from Rode, the PSM1. It attaches to the end of the microphone, as you can see here. So this is what it looks like, and this is how you set it up, which is why I kind of opted out of this boom arm look, right? Because I've got so much going on. I've got the boom arm, got the shock mount going. I went for a cleaner look with this desk stand instead. But what the shock mount does is it will absorb any shocks, right? So if you bump the table, if you bump the microphone, it will absorb that shock. And this shock mount goes for $39. And as you can see by now, all these little accessories and pieces do add up in costs. And if you do want high quality audio, then this is one of the options. Now, it's not the only option. There are other options out there, but this video really is about, you know, how to get sound and the quality that I produce in my videos. However, if you are looking for another, I might as well show you the other option, which is the Shure MV7. This one, you won't need any USB interfaces. You won't need a Cloudlifter, things like that. This plugs straight into your computer via USB. I'm sure there are other inputs like the XLR connection, as you can see. But if you're looking for an all-in-one solution, consider getting the Shure MV7, which goes for $249. It does come down to budget. But in my opinion, I prefer this route and I wouldn't go any other way, at least for now. I've been using this kind of setup for like 10 years or so, as I mentioned. In a nutshell, that is my audio setup in terms of hardware. Now, the other thing you may want to consider doing is audio processing. And to keep things simple, I always like to refer to a website called Auphonic. Auphonic simply allows you to upload your audio file and then it will process everything for you. So you can use the adaptive leveler, loudness normalization, you've got filtering and noise and hum reduction. More on this actual tool in another video that I dedicated. So you can find the link in the description box below. You'll learn how to actually use this tool. You know, sometimes when you watch some YouTube videos and the audio level is quite low, and then sometimes you watch another video and it's quite loud. Well, this tool corrects that, fixes it so that it normalizes your audio and pretty much cleans it up. Other than that, that is my entire setup in terms of audio hardware and how I process my audio. Hopefully it's answered your question on what microphone I use to record my YouTube videos. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I'll leave up a couple of relevant videos for you to watch next. I'll see you next time.